Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I'm back here on my dream claim, exploring a little bit. After finding that ground sluice down there, and a few other things kicking around, made me start thinking, I haven't seen even a tenth of this claim yet. It's time to start exploring and seeing what else the old timers left behind, what else I can find around, and what else might be interesting on my claim. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. Now I'm starting my video from here because A, the river is just so gorgeous through the canyon. Last time I was up here, I noticed this quartz seam running through the rock. And the quartz seams are what hold the hard rock gold that this area is known for. There's an old mine, a few kilometers upriver, the Golden Cache Mine. And that's where the source of most of the gold in the river comes from, is the Golden Cache Mine. And it is a very, very, very rich deposit. Unfortunately, it's on the face of a cliff on the side of a huge mountain. But where there's one quartz seam with gold, maybe there's more. So I might look around a bit at these quartz seams in the area. So here's the trail that leads over to the canyon. Very overgrown trail. I definitely see where they sort of flattened it out. You would not want to slip here. It would be the last thing you ever did. There's the trail, leads along the face, the cliff face here, but I would not want to do that without a rope, a safety harness, or something. That is deadly. Now we do have some old drone footage down around the corner in the canyon that does show some old mining activity. I'll see if I can dig that up and leave that in here. Now my claim, the dream claim here, is a legacy claim. It's been around for a long time, passed down from generation to generation, sold off a whole bunch of times. There has been mining activity on this claim for well over 100 years, even back to, the Chinese gold rush that happened on this river. You can see Chinese hand stacks all over the place downriver, an old Chinese stone oven. There is evidence all over the place of old Chinese workings. Then there's evidence of more modern workings all over the place as well. Placer pits, old roads, everything. There are so many different places around here that they explored for gold. And even today, I'm still finding those nuggets. If you didn't see my last two videos from this claim, both videos I found great gold, including one massive nugget. Go back and check out those videos. Now I do hold both the hard rock and the placer mineral rights for this claim, and there are accounts of both hard rock and placer work done on this site. And hopefully today I can sort of go and explore some of those different accounts. I'm sitting right now on a deposit of hard rock quartz, possibly a gold seam, gold bearing seam. We won't know. I'll take samples of this home and crush it. Took 3 samples from that quartz outcropping. Let's go see what else I can find. There's old piping and electrical wire all over the place leading downriver to whatever operation they had going downriver. Someday, I'll come and clean all that up. Whoa, check this out. Whoa. Cool. So, old-time hard rock miners, when they found a quartz seam on the surface, they would often take a section of it and dig back a few feet underground to see what the quartz looked like where it's not weathered on the surface. Because weathering on the surface kind of weathers out some of the sulfides, the pyrites, that kind of stuff, but underground it's still sort of as it is naturally, like it is in the rock, because it's in the rock. Anyhow, here's an adit where they went back like 10 feet to check out what the quartz seam looks like underground. I will definitely be grabbing some of this quartz and taking it home to crush as well. A couple chunks of the quartz that have come down from above. That's the big quartz seam right there. Going back on an angle, goes right through over there. And they left me some pieces Nice pieces to take home and crush and see what kind of gold values they may hold. I assume they're not overly rich, otherwise they wouldn't have just left this at that stage. Now, sampling a hard rock spot like this, I try to use like the shotgun approach. A little bit from here, a little bit from there, shoot all around, hit everywhere, put it all together, crush it all at once. If I see any gold, then I'll try to refine where it came from. If I see no gold, then I know that none of this stuff had any, none of the spots had any, and there was no point in sort of investigating further. So I grabbed little pieces from all around this adit, and I tried to get all pieces that would fit into my crusher sort of as is, though I like the look of this big one, so I'll smash it up and put it into. Into the backpack they go. It doesn't go in very far. They didn't do very much work here. There's only one adit. There's not like holes all around, but this is still exciting. Let's go see what else I can find. Here's the gully pit I've been working on. Can't get water up this far, so it's hard to process, but there's lots of potential there. A really old ladder or bridge or something here, washed up in the rocks. It may have washed down from upriver, or maybe something that they used to, you know, cross over to that big rock to get to the other side in the past and just pulled it out here over onto the side. It's not ancient, nice like milled 2x4s and all that, but it is old. Just looking in all the nooks and crannies up behind all these rocks and everything, just to see if there's anything else that interests me. Now we're coming up onto the ground sluice I discovered in the last video and started cleaning out. I will be back to this to finish cleaning it out and clean up the mess here and get rid of it. But here's an old ground sluice that old-time placer miners built right into the riverbed. Built big ironworks down there, so as the flood came through this back channel here, it would wash all the material over the ground sluice and process it, recovering the gold. And yes, I found gold in the first 3 sections, and there's probably 3 more up underneath all those rocks that I have to dig out. Something else I'm going to recover today is a bunch of this placer quartz, chunks of quartz that have washed down the stream from upriver. Apparently, if you crush all this stuff down, eventually you find the pieces that host the gold. There's a lot of this quartz kicking around. So I'm going to take some of that. I will crush it separately from the hard rock stuff though, because who knows where that came from? Who knows how far downriver that traveled? And that's where I fell into the river yesterday, slipped on the slippery rocks. Oops. See that great big rock slide right there? There's reports back in the 80s, the miners that were working here were camped up top overnight, and they heard a great big rumble, and the whole mountainside came down, crossed the river, blocked the river, and actually started going up the other side. It missed their camp, but it scared them enough that they just packed up and left. Eventually the river cut back through the slide and washed all the material downriver. There's a lot of history on this site. And everywhere you go on this first bench up, you find these pits. Placer pits, probably dug with excavators, where they dug down to see how far down the bedrock was and what kind of gold was there. You see them all over the place on this upper bench. The first bench up, I should say. In fact, you even see evidence of pits on the second and third benches up. Not as many as down here on the first bench. There's the berm from one of the biggest pits. Just on the other side of that berm is a great big pit. You may have seen that in one of my previous videos. But, you know, here's another one. Old trees growing out of it. It's been here a long, long time. Down into the pit. Now here's the pit that we worked with the high bankers and got many, many, many nuggets out of this one. That was a good day with the high banker. And this is also where I plan to put the permits in to bring in an excavator, dig this out, and see what kind of deposit is actually down there. Here's some more of that river run quartz that I want to take and process. Rotted the sulfides out. And here's that great big placer pit. Apparently this was dug illegally. They weren't supposed to be digging here. They had a big excavator in and they dug down until they hit a massive boulder at the bottom. They didn't get to bedrock because the big boulder stopped them digging any further down in the center. There is stories, you know, the fishtails of them seeing a big gold nugget come out of there that they couldn't find once they went looking for it. Of course, I'm sure miners are bad as fishermen for their fish tails. Their gold nugget tails. Okay, I'm going for a hike into the unknown. There's an old road you can see on the side of a big slide up here that I don't know where it leads. So I'm gonna walk down the road, see what I can find. Someone put an effort into building a road for some reason. Let's go see why. So just up on the hill there, you can see an old road that goes by. And we walked up there once, but we didn't really follow it to see where it led to or where it came from. So I'm gonna go up there and I'm going to investigate. One of the old maps I found of this area, which was not a very good map, it was hard to tell where things were, showed over here somewhere was the old Chinese dump. Now I haven't seen any evidence of bottles, porcelain, coins, anything that would indicate that the Chinese were in here in any way. However, there is indications that they found a Chinese dump right here somewhere. Well, it disappears completely under this big rock slide. Oh, I'm way above it. There it is right there. It must have cut down the hill from up there, and there's evidence of a cut right there. I'm way above it. It was going down onto that flat over there. Okay, downhill we go. So I really lose sight of the road at that one spot, and I can't see where it went to or where it's going to or, you know, anything. So I'm just gonna wander through the forest down here and see if I can figure out what they were doing, why they brought a road up to this point. I see evidence of what might be two cuts above me, one running there and then one running there. I'm not sure if maybe the road did continue past the slide and it's just slid completely away. I'm gonna continue down here through the forest and then maybe pop back up and see if that's the old road. So I walked back up towards that first cut I saw, and definitely the old road is still coming through here. Right there. So it must have stayed up high on that slide and then come down, and the slide just erased it from existence. Let's see where she goes. Well, there's a nice big open flat area here, but no evidence of any, you know, mine shafts or adits or placer pits or trenching or anything yet. The road definitely continues. Okay, I'm coming up on something now. I see a structure over here. Looks like a ladder of some sort. This is probably one of those aluminum makeshift bridges that they were using to go across the river. And a table over there. Okay, there was something going on here. An old grease gun. Some timbers. Can't quite figure out what they were doing, but I'll look around a bit more. Oh, big can of something. Maybe it's their concentrates. Maybe it's full of gold. Ooh, it's full of something. Oh no, not really. Full of water. I shouldn't tip that over in case it had oil in it. Lots more timbers and stuff. An old exhaust pipe. Grease gun. Big can that indicates they had machinery over here, obviously, to make the road. And I'd say this was their destination. Just don't know why. That was a good-sized deer. It lost his life right there. Maybe fell from above. Who knows? Well, that's definitely the end of the walk up this side of the river. There's no going around that. I'd hate to be anywhere close by when anything came down from that slide. Yikes. Well, there's something interesting. Let's go have a look at that. So I walked within about 5 feet of this on the way upriver and didn't see it. Hidden in the bushes, doesn't look like it's been here for a long period of time either, a river sluice. Those are illegal here in BC. You're not allowed to do anything actually in the river except for panning by itself. I will be taking that with me and out of here today. A, it's illegal. B, it's my claim. C, it belongs to a claim jumper. Whoa, check this out. An actual gold mine. Like the real thing. That's not just a little adit. It goes back as far as I can see. It had timbers holding up the portal. It's all collapsed in. I also see evidence of stuff coming down from above, like there might be a second one, and a second adit, second mine shaft. Maybe a shaft going up from inside. Maybe, who knows? There's something else above us. Let's check this out. An actual gold mine on my dream claim. There's evidence of quartz, mineralized quartz all around here. They were definitely chasing a quartz seam, hopefully with gold in it. Now before we go inside, let's go see what's above, see if there's another shaft or something from above. Look at that mineralized quartz. The iron and sulfides are rotting away. That's where you find the gold, is in those pockets. I'm definitely taking that piece with me. And definitely taking that one too. There's a chance of gold here. Anyhow, I move it up. So the workings above just seem to be surface workings. Definitely a big old quartz seam here. I see sulfides, I see pyrite coming out over here. Like this is actual iron pyrite powdering out of the quartz. I have my little jackhammer back at the truck. I may have to go get that, bring it here, and take some samples of that straight from the seam. Oh yeah, and another one. Another adit going in on that seam. Luckily today, in my prospecting gear, I always keep the Olight flashlight. Let's go have a look inside. So it only goes back about 12 feet, right onto the quartz seam, right onto some nice sulfides up there. Oh, that's the whole quartz seam right above me. That whole thing right there. Oops, where's the camera? That whole thing right there goes back. They just followed the quartz in. It's a frickin' gold mine! So looking at this, the first surface workings just over there, the seam must come straight over the top, right down through here. So it goes off at that angle. And the workings below, just down there, must come in to meet up with the face of that quartz seam from below. They put a lot of work into this. Hopefully that means they found something. Let's go into the scary gold mine. Hello bears. Any bears in there? Cougars? Rats? Spiders? It's a hole. Oh, it's big. It goes a long ways back. And it's not following a seam. So they must have done this afterwards, after they decided where the seam was, and they wanted to go back to meet up with the seam. It looks solid enough. Let's go for an investigation. Some small stringers of quartz that they sort of just dug into a little bit. Ooh, it goes back into two different directions. Oh, but there we go. Very mineralized. Look at that, the starting of stalactites. Any stalagmites? Oh yeah, this is sort of the starting of stalagmites too. I don't see a great big quartz seam back here though. Like maybe they didn't get back far enough to find it, or the quartz seam didn't come down this deep. Well, what do I see? I see deafness arachnus. Ooh, another spider. I'm getting out of here. I hate spiders. It's a frickin' gold mine! Doesn't make it back to the quartz seam, but that's obviously what they were trying to do. The upper ones definitely work that quartz seam. I'm definitely taking some samples of this quartz home to crush to see if it shows any gold. I love this claim. So I'm getting some nice samples out of here of this mineralized quartz. I'll take it home, crush it down, and see if it shows any free milled gold. So I will take all that quartz home, crush it, process it, see what's inside of it, hoping for some free milled gold, but that will be in my next video. Let's continue exploring. I've never had a look at the little pond that's on my property, so I thought I'd just come over here and have a look at the little pond, see if there's any tadpoles. Actually, the real reason I want to come over here is I've never been over here to see if this road leads anywhere exciting. If there's any other adits, any other workings, any other anythings. There's a pond, there's big rocks, and the road seems to end here at this slide with Nothing too exciting mineral-wise. Okay, let's move over to the other side of the claim, around the bottom edge. Now I'm over on the other side of the claim. You have to take a different road to get over to this side of the claim. This is where those claim jumpers, the illegal dredgers, were working. Just down there. I've had lots of people ask me for updates of what happened to them. All the ministry would tell me is that they were dealt with. When I dug into it a bit deeper, I saw that they had their free miner certificates permanently removed. But the ministry wouldn't tell me anything more that happened to them because of, freedom of information and privacy and all that kind of stuff. But the ministry did sort of assure me that they were dealt with. I'm not going to go in and investigate and explore this side at all because, I've done that really well over here on this side. I know that there's rock ovens down there. I know there's Chinese hand stacks. I know there's ground runs. I know there was lots of Chinese working both sides of the river down here. I have explored this side quite well. I sort of know what's there. It's really neat to see, but it's not for today. Again, if you want to see any of the old videos, I have videos from down there. I have videos of the claim jumpers. I have videos of all of that. Just check out my channel. There's stuff all over the place on this claim. What a beautiful river. That's actually not my claim. My claim doesn't start until over here somewhere. Well, that's it for me today on this claim. I hope you enjoyed my exploration of my claim. I have a much better idea of what's out there. Found some really neat things. There's a gold mine on my claim. I will be processing that material, and you'll see it in a later video. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make these weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Hope you're all having an amazing day. And until the next video, everyone, bye.